in the newspaper. Starting off with The Nation, major headline. Senate okays 55.46 trillion naira for 2026 budget despite 2025 revenue shortfall. Dangote to ICPC, probe NMDPRA CEO Farouk. In other news, Tinubu governors Labour meets over planned protest. How plot to impose Lawan as APC candidate was scuttled. Senate asked NSA to probe fake news on Akpabio and Gowon as NBA police clash over tainted glass enforcement. Then we have another news, Supreme Court's verdict on emergency, a win for Nigerians, says the Attorney General of Federation, Fagbemi. And Transcorp Hotel appoints Awele Ilumelu as board chair. Okay, what story are we starting with?
Dangote have the latest for the NMDPR boss. See my phone. Okay, so he's turning the pictures upside down, but then he petitioned the ICPC yesterday through his lawyers to arrest and investigate the NMDPR boss. He says that he should be immediately arrested, investigated, and prosecuted. He says he can substantiate a $7 million upfront payment of school fees for 6 years education of his 4 children in elite schools in Switzerland. Upfront payment. Wow. Swiss schools. So over to ICPC, we want to hear it. Let me not just be brief because it's our hot topic. We will still discuss it. Yeah, that's why I summarize. So Amaka,
okay, so President Bola Ahmed Tinubu held late-night talks with leaders of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, yesterday over the planned protest scheduled for today by Labour. At the meeting where the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Hope Uzodinma, who is Imo State Governor, NLC President Joe Ajaero, and Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Mrs. Nkiruka Onyejocha, where they said that they wanted to, defer to the president during the meeting, and that whether the protest will still hold today or not, it's yet to be known. That they've not still come to the decision that they want to go back to the drawing board and then come back to Nigerians on what their decisions were. But they said that the protest was as a result of the failure to safeguard lives and property, which has reached an unacceptable threshold. They said that the way Nigerians are living now is even below the rate as when during the war, and in places where, like in Somalia, where which are war zones, the Nigerians are not living, their livelihood is below par. NLC also highlighted that insecurity has severely impacted communities, disrupted livelihoods, and put both workers and the general public at continual risk, while government efforts have primarily been superficial and ineffective. So we'll see, we're in the studio right now, and we'll see what they hold for the strike.
I have, the Senate has referred false reports on alleged deaths of its president. I'm talking of President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, to the National Security Advisor. So what happened was that Senator Titus Zam, during plenary, moved the motion that social media platforms were being flooded with claims that Akpabio had died in a London hospital, even as he was presiding over plenary. They also said there was a similar rumor that was spread about Gowon on the same day that former head of state attended a Christmas carol service in Abuja. Yes, fake reports every day. So he's calling for investigation to identify those behind these fake reports. The Senate President in response says, I hear you, this has become a common trend, that even that recently social media had circulated a funeral footage of a prominent businessman who is still very much alive. So he said that, the only thing that he could do now is to, take it on, push it on to the NSA so that they can look into it. But, the Senate unanimously approved for this to be moved on to the next, to the NSA to deal with. This is a serious problem. Look at you, you actually believe that story.
Yeah, because I saw it and I felt like,
thoroughly need to start regulating and prosecuting and investigating these fake news
peddlers. The first person that posted it. The Lagos Port leads export-focused economic policy for the federal government. Now, the exporting and ports are very, they go hand in hand. A breakdown of the number of ship calls along the port location, according to statistics made available by the NPA, shows that Tinkan tops the chart with 22%, followed by Apapa Port with 22 point. They're both 22%. One is 22.7, Tinkan. Then Apapa Port is 22.2, while the Lekki Port follows with 18.9% and 18.4% respectively, while Calabar Port contributes 2.1%. So it's important that we also, while it's good for Lagos to feel like, yes, Lagos is the drum, but Calabar and others should also upgrade their what they're bringing in, not reducing what is in Lagos, but just increasing more economic activities. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll continue with the front page review. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're continuing the front page review with the Punch major headline. Insecurity, police deploy special forces ahead of NLC protest today. NLC defies pressure, mobilizes state chapters, police lockdown flashpoint as CPs meets labor leaders. In other news, blackout looms as gas shortfall hits power stations. Not during Christmas, please. 154 billion naira student loan disbursed in 19 months from NEL Fund. 2027 ADC state chairman lock horns over Congress. Massive arms cache uncovered in Kogi. Massive arm cache. They say it's cash, not cache. Transcorp Hotels appoint Awele Elumelu as board chair, and federal government record 30 trillion naira revenue shortfall in 2025 from Edo. Federal government to acquire 24 fighter jets for 1.2 billion euro, and US add Nigeria to travel restriction list. Petro battle, ICPC plans NMDPRA boss probe after Dangote's petition. Okay, what story are we starting with?
Let me do the blackout. So thanks to Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, who has released a public notice. They said they wish to inform electricity customers across the southeast region that this December it will not be dairy. That the recent recent drop in power supply availability is due to low system frequency occasioned by gas constraints affecting the generation companies, and this development has necessitated the load shedding of available energy by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, and as a result, the development has impacted energy allocation to the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company and daily service level to customers set by the subsidiary companies, and they named them. So basically what they are saying is that those of all of you looking to the southeast for a dirty December will have to run your generators, and the Punch captions is that, you know, because the federal government has not paid some of the debt owed to gas companies. The gas companies are now not cutting supply of power to the generation companies, and so that will affect it. If you've noticed, we didn't have light for 2 days straight, and they finally brought it last night. You can see it's very unusual of me to have a power bank
or set.
It's going to be a black
I'm laughing at some people.
You've
been judging people. Meanwhile, things are happening to you.
So there's a setup. My inverter there was no proper sun. Generator, the repairer were servicing them, all three. They opened them like this.
But here you are.
Last night I was helpless.
Here you are with power bank.
Doing a Miriam. You are doing a Miriam.
I even had to borrow it.
Yes. Okay. So,
okay, so this I've got this story. They say the Kogi State Governor Alhaji Ahmed Ododo on Tuesday announced the discovery of a large cache of arms and ammunition from criminal hideouts following a decisive joint security operation in the state. The items that were recovered, there are so many of them with really ammunition names. So just strong but you know, they say so different kinds of pistols, rounds of magazines, all sorts of cartridges, ammunition and cartridges for pump action and Barrett pistols. And then they also said handcuffs, 13 holsters, tear gas, cartridges as submachine gun components were found as well. So this was the governor briefing journalists in Lokoja, said that the operation was the outcome of over a week of sustained intelligence-driven surveillance by the security agency working in firm coordination with the state government. And he said that they intensified crackdown on criminal elements following his recent meeting with the president. Let's keep doing this sustained, intensive, operations with various security arms, because I've heard of, there's a personal story going on right now, and one of the things that we're realizing is a problem is that the different agencies are not collaborating. So somebody will have an information, if only they work together, some things would be forestalled. Yeah.
Okay, I have the Nelfon story, being accountable to Nigerians for money spent so far. Nigerian Education Loan Fund says it has disbursed a total of 104.3 billion naira to 788,947 students across the country in the 19 months since the scheme's launch. Speaking during a virtual briefing on Tuesday, Nelfon Managing Director, Mr. Akintunde Sawyer, said the beneficiaries were selected from over 1.2 million applications received since disbursements began on May 24, 2024. Of the total disbursed, 82.34 billion naira covered institutional fees, while 72.02 billion naira went to students' upkeep allowances distributed across 262 institutions nationwide. So this is great news. When this started, we didn't know how it was going to go, but so far they've done great, and I love the fact that they keep coming up to tell Nigerians to hold themselves accountable and tell Nigerians how they're spending the money, how much has been disbursed so far. So congratulations to the students that have received the loans so far.
Okay, so the US has put Nigeria on travel restriction lists, and the reason for that is, according to them, the overstay of Nigerian visitors' visa at the rate of 5.5%, and the F&M overstay visa at the rate of 11.9%. So based on this data, they are strengthening their national security by reducing visa being given to Nigerians. Nigerians, via data, are overstaying the visa given to them. Moving on to Daily Sun. Cabal almost killed my husband. That's from Aisha Buhari. They planted bugs, sabotaged meals, revealed ex-president thought she was after his life. I think we took that story yesterday. Insecurity, no going back on nationwide protest. That's from NLC. The Nigerian workers facing worst survival crisis in history. Other news, Dangote's 739 per litre pump price yet to take effect as rift with regulators dipping, but we've seen cheaper fuel and we're grateful for that. US Embassy warns Nigerian against visa fraud, threatening permanent ban. NBA faults police on tinted glasses. Peter Obi, 80 million unemployed youth, colossal leadership failure. Why CBN revoked licenses of ASO savings and union homes. So I took the story. I think somebody else took the US Embassy story, maybe in more detail.
Yes, so I wanted to just add to it, but you had to move. So they say the US Embassy in Abuja has warned Nigerians against engaging in any form of fraud in the process of obtaining the United States visas, and says that offenders would risk permanent bans. So this was a statement that was posted on the embassy's X handle, and they said that applicants who provide false information or fake documents could face lifelong ineligibility under U.S. immigration law. They said visa fraud carries serious consequences, as any form of misrepresentation during the application process may result in a permanent prohibition from entering the United States. Visa fraud has serious consequences. Lying or providing fake documents can lead to permanent visa bans under the U.S. immigration, and also reiterated its commitment to continue cooperation with Nigeria on matters of national interest.
Awesome. Okay, so I have the pump price story. So thank you to the Sun for going to the streets to find out whether the recent 739,000 naira per litre pump price that was announced by the president of Dangote Industries Limited would take in effect. What they found is that instead, in stations in Abule, Egba, Agege and Ikeja area, petrol still sells at the MRS filling stations, which is the direct distributor of Dangote fuel, at 835 naira per litre, and some other stations by major marketers, major and independent marketers, prices were between 875 and 885, which is the last drop of prices. So when I heard this announcement, I was thanking God for my half tank, hoping that I would buy at 699. But they said even the gantry price, which is 699, would only allow for the sale of petrol to be at least 740 per litre. And this has not taken effect at all. In the same news, they said the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria has passed a vote of confidence on the NMDPRA boss.
Okay.
They said that his authority has been innovative. He has innovative reforms, strategic governance, and regulatory clarity.
We will discuss it during this.
Okay.
So quickly, the NBA, the Nigerian Bar Association, has described the decision by the Nigerian Police Force to activate the enforcement of the suspended tinted glass permit policy as executive recklessness and an affront of the authority of the court. This is after the first public relations officer, CSP Benjamin Hudein, had said that they would start enforcement January 2nd. But the NBA, Nigerian Bar Association, has challenged the authority of Nigerian Police Force to impose fees or financial obligations on citizens under the tinted glass permit policy. They also stated that the NBA also contends that the policy is unconstitutional, illegal, and extortionate, and poses a threat to citizens' rights and economic well-being.
And with that, we've come to the end of Front Page Review for today. When we return, we'll go through a hot topic, something really juicy. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.